Meteorology is the branch of science that deals with the study of the atmosphere. The scientific study of the interactions between living organisms and their atmospheric environment is called as biometeorology. 75% of the mass of atmosphere is in the troposphere. The ozone layer present in stratosphere. Exosphere gradually merges into interplanetary space. The concentration of ozone occurs between 20 and 50 kilometers, with the maximum around 25 kilometers, which is referred as ozonosphere. Chromospheres, the layer which has the chemical activity predominant between 20 and 100 kilometers. Atmospheric composition varies above 80 to 100 kilometers, which is called as heterosphere. Heliosphere, molecular oxygen is seen between 200 and 1000 kilometers. Ionosphere, above 10,000 kilometers, hydrogen atoms are in an ionized state. The Earth's magnetic field extends outwards into space to nearly 10 Earth radii, called as magnetosphere. Short-term variation in the atmosphere at a given place is called as weather. The condition of the atmosphere over a long period of time over a large area is called as climate. Conduction, heat transfer between solids. Convection, heat transfer between liquids. Radiation, heat transfer without the involvement of the physical substance. Advection, the process of horizontal transfer of heat by winds. Insolation, incoming solar radiation. Ratio of diffusely reflected radiation to the incident radiation, albedo. A line connecting the places having highest average temperature is known as heat equator. The highest temperature recorded in Tripole of North Africa, 136 degrees Celsius. The actual decrease in temperature with elevation is called actual lapse rate. The average rate of temperature decrease with the elevation is called as normal lapse rate. The total volume of water in the atmosphere is about 1.3 x 1013. Ratio of the actual vapor pressure to the saturation vapor pressure at a given air temperature. Relative humidity. The difference between the actual temperature and to the dew point is called as dew point depression. 1783, de Saussure used hair hygrometer to measure the moisture of the air. The hygrometer may be transformed into a self-recording instrument which is called as hygrograph. Psychrometer, widely used instrument for measuring humidity. Sleet equals rain plus snow. Ice pellets equals 0.5 to 5.0 centimeters. Pressure is measured by a barometer. Isobars are the lines joining the points of equal pressure. The change in pressure with horizontal distance is called pressure gradient. Rain-bearing clouds are categorized as nimbus. Clouds with fibrous appearance, cirriform clouds. CCN, cloud condensation nuclei. Cumulonimbus clouds often give rise to squalls. Diameter of the cyclone ranges from 200 to 2,000 kilometers. WMO, World Meteorological Organization. The Earth is an oblate spheroid. Core is located at the Earth's center. The thickness of mantle is 2,900 kilometers, which comprises 83% of the Earth's volume. The crust floats on top of the mantle. Crust equals basalt, oceanic crust, plus granitic, continental crust. The top layer of the upper mantle is called asthenosphere. The lithosphere is a layer that includes the crust and uppermost portion of the asthenosphere. Longitude is an important factor in determining time in all parts of the world. The linear distance between two given longitude is maximum at the equator and is reduced to 0 at the poles. Hydrometer is used to measure moisture. Smog is a polluted fog. The regular decrease in temperature with altitude is called vertical temperature gradients. Precipitation equals Bergeron process plus subsequent growth by coalescence. Oceans are called as heat reservoirs. Diameter of ice pellets, less than 5 millimeters. Diameter of snow pellets, less than 2.5 millimeters. Hailstones are small balls of chunks having 5 to 75 millimeters of diameter. India gets 80% of annual precipitation from monsoon. Water in the atmosphere exists mainly as an invisible gas and water vapor. Greenhouse gases play a major role in greenhouse effect and global warming. Condensation is an important aspect of weather. Vapor to ice, deposition. Vapor to liquid, condensation. Liquid to vapor, evaporation. Ice to vapor, sublimation. Mixing ratio is the mass of water vapor in a unit of dry air. Partial pressure is usually expressed as millibars/inches of mercury. Dew point is below freezing is referred as frost point. An electrical hygrometer is used in radio sonde. The satellites are able to detect the humidity with troposphere. The process by which objects become covered with small water droplets are known as gottation. Glazed frost is called as silver frost. Freezing of supercooled water droplets are called as rime. Condensation trails, contrails. When air moves across a much warmer water surface, a kind of fog is formed called as steam fog. Atmosphere has 5% of average water vapor. Water vapor mainly observed in radiation. The mass of water vapor in a unit of dry air is called as mixing ratio. The dew point below freezing is referred as frost point. The electrically changed position of atmosphere is known as ionosphere. Auroras observed most frequently of 20° and 30° latitude from the geomagnetic poles. The outermost region of the atmosphere is called as magnetosphere. Relatively mixed gases present in homosphere layer. Various amount of gases present in heterosphere layer. CFC gas release, chlorine gas. Coldest point in the atmosphere is mesopause. Ozone layer found in stratosphere layer. Temperature decrease is found in the troposphere layer. Density particle is very low in exosphere layer. The condition of temperature constant and then it increases was found in the layer called as stratosphere. Water vapor present in stratosphere layer. The average temperature of troposphere is about 6.50 C/km. Hydrogen gas present in exosphere layer. Temperature of thermosphere is high as 1100 OC. In exosphere, the particles escape through gravitational pull on the Earth. Troposphere is a zone of dense, turbulent, and air with abundant water vapor and oxygen. Meteorology is study of weather change. Interactions between living organisms and atmospheric environment are called as biometeorology. Aeronomy investigates both the chemical and physical changes in atmosphere. The mass of atmosphere, 5.6 x 1014 tons. Meteorology pertaining to sea and ocean is called as marine meteorology. Oxygen is a highly reactive gas that supports aerobic respiration. Insolation, incoming solar radiation. Insolation is commonly expressed in the units of watts/m2 or calories/cm2/min or Langley/min. Forms of precipitation: rain, snow, sleet, dew. Drizzle, less than 0.5 mm dia. Raindrops, 0.05 to 0.06 cm in dia. Ice pellets or sleet, less than 5 mm in dia. Snow pellets, 2 to 5 mm in dia. Snow grains, less than 1 mm in dia. Hailstones, small balls or chunks of ice, less than 5 to 75 mm in dia. Precipitation equals Bergeron plus coalescence process. The percentage of radiation reflected is called as albedo. Beaufort scale, used to state the strength of wind. Cup anemometer, measures the speed of wind. Sling psychrometer, measures the humidity. Pish evaporimeter, measures evaporation rate of the water in atmosphere. Thermograph, mechanical device used to measure the temperature variation. Bimetal strip, a kind of thermometer, works on the principle of a differential expansion. Sunshine recorder, a kind of recorder, records the sunrise and sunset time. Pyranometer, used to measure daily cycle of incoming shortwave radiation to ground surface. Rain gauge measures the depth of accumulated precipitation. Hydrograph, hydrograph plus thermograph. Hydrograph, record humidity. Barograph, measures the changes in the atmospheric pressure. Anemograph, measure the direction and the speed of the wind. Wind vane, measure the direction of the wind. Barometer, measure atmospheric pressure. Absolute humidity, amount of water vapor actually present in the given volume of air. Relative humidity, amount of water vapor actually present in the given volume of air at a particular temperature to the amount of water vapor required to saturate the same temperature. Pie graphs, also called as circular, coin or sector graphs. Climate of a region can be expressed by simple rainfall and temperature, climatograms. Scale, relationship between a distance measured on the map and true distance on the ground. Cadastral map, individual landed property and land registration. Wall map, small-scale map representing relief, climate, vegetation types, soil types, minerals, roads, railways, etc. Isopleths, lines that connect places of equal value. Choropleth maps, shows civic divisions. Dot maps, shows method of distribution. Gradient winds, height of 600 m that blows parallel to the isobars. Geotropic wind, occurs from the balance between the pressure gradient and Coriolis force. The study of ocean is called as oceanography. Oceanography comes from the Greek words, oceanus, ocean, and graphos, study. Ring-shaped reefs enclosing landless lagoon is called as atolls. An elongated reef separated from the land mass by some distance is termed as barrier reef. Extension of the sea or ocean into the land mass, being completely landlocked on 33 sides, are known as bay. Narrow strip of ocean/sea which enters into the land mass is called as gulf. Narrow strip of water body connecting seas and oceans are known as strait. Narrow strip of land mass which plunges into the sea and oceans being abounded by oceanic water on all three sides are called as cape. Representations of depth contours of the ocean floor is called as bathymetric charts. Narrow steep-walled ocean inlet is called as fjord. The line along which air masses of differing characteristics meet is called as frontal system. Flat-topped seamount is known as guyot. The circular flow of oceanic circulation is called as gyre. The zone in the ocean in which salinity rapidly changes is termed as halocline. The contour line representing the similar depth in the bathymetric chart is defined as isobaths. The boundary where the land and water meets is defined as shoreline.